characters so that we can start to talk, and we'll give you guys an honest review of this. So this movie is called Jingle Jangle, and the minute it starts, you get like an instant vibe that it's going to be
like
kind of a musical. And that's one of the part that really drew me in and made me feel like, oh, this is like kind of like Broadway, kind of like, you know, and it makes you happy because it's just like, you know, something about musicals is just like,
it makes you think the whole thing is gonna be a musical.
Yeah, everything's a musical, and then, you know, like it's like a lot of positivity and stuff like that. You know, some musicals can become a little bit, you know, cringy because you feel like every little thing is going to turn into a song, but this one actually had a lot of serious moments.
It had a good balance between the two.
And also it had a very dramatic twist to it, because in the beginning, it was very positive because you meet Geronicus, which is played by
Forrest Whitaker.
Well, Forrest Whitaker is the adult version of it, but it's played by Justin Cronwell, and he plays young Geronicus, and he's actually a really great singer and performer. But like, I actually was a little bit disappointed because I actually wanted him to continue, because like I saw him and I was like, oh, he looks cool, but then they instantly did like a fast forward where he became very old and grumpy. But we're going to explain what happened to make him, you know, fast forward into the older Geronicus. So what happened in that part?
Young Geronicus, he was a very popular toy maker, and he had his own toy store. Yeah, and he had just came out, he had just finished fixing one of his new invention, which is played by Ricky Martin, and he had just invented a one-of-a-kind doll that was able to talk, dance, and pretty much it was like, it was just like a modern day kind of like AI system, because artificial intelligence, and he was basically able to function and talk and move and do whatever he want. And the name of that doll was Don Juan Diego, and he had like a blue matador kind of costume, and he spoke kind of like a little bit Latin, Spanish, something, and he was very, very entertaining, but also very mischievous. Yeah, he was played by Ricky Martin. And in that beginning intro of that movie, there is two characters, which is Geronicus, which is the official toy maker. He's the head toy maker, and his assistant was Gustafson, which was his assistant. He was like he was not a full toy maker, but he was like, he was in the process of getting to Geronicus' level. So he was working on this invention that he was trying to get started, but he never could figure out this one component that kept making his invention not work. And every time that he tried to get Geronicus' attention, and Geronicus was so busy and so excited about his new invention that he just to throw off a little bit, Geronicus is also married and has a daughter. Yeah, and he just didn't give him the attention that he needed, and Gustafson felt like Geronicus wasn't giving him the time of day, kind of using him in a sense. And it was like, in the beginning, I personally felt like Geronicus, if he would have just gave Gustafson just a little bit of some help, his invention would have been working, and he would have never resulted to what I'm about to tell you right now. Which is the plot twist. Yeah. So the plot twist is Gustafson was kind of misled by the doll, which is the Juan Diego doll. He was has that mischievous, dark personality. So pretty much, the doll was self-centered. The doll didn't want to be mass-produced. He wanted to be one of a kind. He didn't want to have multiple of him made. Yeah. So because he didn't want to be a replica of just one in the many, he was like, hey, why don't you steal the book, and then you can be the best toy maker in town. So he got in his head, and he kind of like manipulated him to kind of get what he wanted, and Gustafson fell for it and ended up stealing the book, which made Geronicus lose all of his ideas, his business, his wife, And he also lost his motivation just to create in general.
Yeah, he lost all of his family. His wife died.
Geronicus had this one power to like just kind of see math and like figure out how things work. He just knew how things work. And like he lost what made him special.
He lost his ability.
Yeah, he stopped believing. And once he stopped believing, he lost his
create.
Yeah. So fast forward years into the future, we have old Geronicus, which is played by Forrest Whitaker. And when I first see Forrest Whitaker in this movie, I'm kind of disappointed because I'm like, we went from a young Geronicus, active, dancing, performing, to kind of, you know, him. And yes, he is a great actor, and you know, I did appreciate his performance in this movie in the long run. In the beginning, because he was so down and grumpy and he didn't believe and his heart was broken, he was very grumpy. Mm-hmm. So when one of my favorite character, which is his granddaughter, mm-hmm. which is played by, what's her name?
The daughter that he sent away,
Madeline Mills,
had a daughter, and this is his granddaughter.
So his daughter's name is Jessica, which is played by Anika Noni Rose. She was his daughter, and he kind of like pushed her away. And she was also a really good inventor. She
had the same gift that he did.
Yeah, and he pushed her away, and she ended up having her own kid, her own life. And that's where Madeline Mills, which is Journey, comes. And she has like cogs in her hair. She has the
10 times skills as they do.
And she has the understanding because her mom is so gifted. Her mom passed all her knowledge to her. And now she's coming with like 10 times the knowledge and already, you know, further along than anybody could possibly be. And all she wants to do is meet her grandfather because he's supposed to be the best toy maker in the world. Yeah. But little does she know that her grandfather doesn't believe. He lost his holiday spirit. What made him special, the gift that she inherited from her mother because of him, he lost.
Yeah.
He couldn't see it.
He was even like very cold towards her when she came to stay with him.
He was like, I don't have a granddaughter.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have a granddaughter. Like kind of like disowning her.
Who are you?
And, yeah, he was extremely.
And if she didn't keep persisting and following her, he would have left her in the street. He would have left her in the street. But definitely, like he after reading a letter that her mom sent her, they were able to really like, you know, figure out, okay, yes, you are my granddaughter, and then, okay, come through. Now, my favorite part about within that time frame when they met was just, like, the time when they had the snowball fight, and, like, she threw a snowball at him, and then he was just like, oh, really, you gonna throw a snowball at me? And then he just started doing math in his head. He's like, okay, I'm gonna throw it this way, and I'm gonna do this. So he did the math. He threw the snowball. She's like, oh, it didn't hit me, and it just came back around. Mm-hmm. And just hit him. I'm like,
because the math was that perfect.
Yeah, and it showed you what he was capable of, and it was just like amazing.
And that was the first time he had like an excitement in a long time. He smiled. He was having fun.
And then we broke into a musical, and it was just like that same happy feeling that you had in the beginning of the movie came back. You know, because like the fast forward kind of gave you that. You know, like it took the joy away, but then you saw the glimpse of the joy coming back into the movie. Yeah. You know, which was a good part.
Right. So the movie has a lot of breakdowns of musicals at certain highlight parts. They'll come in and sing, but to fast forward so we don't take too long in the video is basically the movie is his granddaughter comes back to inspire him to believe again. That's what the movie is about.
Yes.
And also in the process of his granddaughter coming back, Gustafin, who stole his ideas and what was it for like 30 years?
He runs out of ideas. The book is finished, and now he has to come up with his own ideas.
And he can't because he just lost his ability to create as well because he stole
all the ideas of the book, and he's been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
And now it's like there's no more ideas, so now he has to come up with his own idea.
So now he's coming back to plot to steal something else from Geronicus, and then the doll that made
everything is still there. He's still in his ears.
Yeah, he's still encouraging him to go steal from Geronicus. So that's what the movie is basically about. So it's like the granddaughter comes back to make Geronicus believe, and then Gustafin is still trying to be mischievous and steal from Geronicus. So like, that's like the highlight of the movie. Yeah. And then
also one of the very important part of the movie also is that Journey coming into Geronicus' life helps him reconnect with his daughter.
And reconnect with the toy that his daughter created,
which is, and that toy was that toy was never broken. So Geronicus, because he lost the ability to believe, the toy that his daughter was starting, he felt would never work because that toy sensed that he didn't believe. Yeah. So whenever he was in the presence of that toy would shut down and not work because it knew that he did not believe, and that toy required him to believe. And once Journey came into the picture and she believed, that toy came to life.
Yeah, and it was amazing. I like that part.
Yeah, it was very nice, and the toy could fly. Plus, the toy could make other people fly. Because did you see the best part? I think was just the ending when the daughter was actually was Journey. Journey was grown up telling a story to her grandchildren, and they literally just pulled out the robot and like started flying out the window. It was just like,
and initially when the toy came back to life, they were all like flying in the air because remember he was going to lose his store if he didn't have
he needed an invention because he was trying to take that his final loan, and it was like, if you don't pay us our loan, we're going to take everything.
So this whole time he was in the process of losing his toy store that he had for years, and he had to create something, and that's why the granddaughter came in to inspire him. Yeah. And the other part of the movie is that Gustafin was still trying to steal for him, and the plot twist was that Geronicus he got caught, but Geronicus also gave him the missing piece to his invention.
So that was probably the most twist, was that when Geronicus came back within that same day when Gustafin had stolen his invention book, he was actually coming back to give him a present, which was the missing piece to his invention. Because also when he, in that same time period when he ran out of ideas, he was like, okay, I don't have no ideas, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to that same invention that I was trying to do, and I think I'm better now, I'm gonna try to make it again, and it still didn't work, and he was humiliated, and that's why he was like, I'm gonna go steal something else because I can't do it myself. But in reality, Geronicus did care. He just didn't had a funny way of showing it. He was too late.
Yeah, he missed him right before that doll got into his head.
Yeah, he was too late. Yeah. But at the same time, I think Geronicus just wanted him to apply himself and just try. So it was like he was trying to teach him, but at the same time, what Gustafin needed was a little bit more love and care. And I feel like Geronicus was too much in his way to understand that he needed him at that moment.
Yeah, because you have to understand, Geronicus was young and he was at the height of his career. So sometimes you get caught up in that moment and you kind of forget, And
at the same time,
so I think that's what happened. It's not that he was a bad person. It's just that he got caught up in the hype and the fact that he was doing so well. You know?
And also he had just fixed figured out the solution to one of his best inventions. And I think that he was just so inspired in being like, okay, I want to just monetize this and build up this, that he forgot about what would really matter, which is the people. And it's not about the toys, it's about the joy that you give from the toys. And that's the real meaning of the celebration and the holidays. It's really about just the season of giving and really being positive. And that's what we want you guys to try to take from this movie. It's a black-owned, I would say it's a black-owned. I think it's a black-owned movie. Like, most of the characters are really Black inspired.
We have
so
to do more research to see that.
Yeah, so I think you guys should watch it. Watch it with your family. Enjoy this movie. If you want to watch it for the holidays, watch it for the holidays.
It's a great movie to watch, especially during these times when so much is going on and you're at home and you want to feel, you know, because some people this year are not happy about the holidays. A lot of people lost their jobs or lost loved ones. So this is a movie that can bring
a little bit of positive and joy in your life.
You know,
something that you can celebrate with your loved ones if you have loved ones. And even if you don't, it could just be something that you can just watch and try to just get yourself in the holiday spirits. And
because a lot of people are not really in the holiday spirits, but this movie can uplift you a little bit.
And we're just trying to, you know, give you guys some positivity, you know, connect with you guys. If you guys feel like you guys need a little bit of support or anything, or you guys are struggling through this season and you just need someone to talk to, you can feel free to comment down below. We'll try to engage as much as possible, provide you a little bit of support in this time of need. And this is our review.
To be there for each other.
This is our review of this movie, and it's a great movie, and we enjoyed it, and we want you guys to enjoy it also. So that's why we wanted to let you guys know, and we were kind of excited just seeing that this drink was inspired by the movie, and it's a limited edition time. So if you just want to pick it up just to get the can, you can.
I think that we should actually save that.
Yeah,
that could be like a
souvenir,
or later, years later. You know,
it's a limited edition can, and you know, I think even if it's worth purchasing just to support a Black-owned business. You know, I don't know if the owners is fully Black, but I know that the artist who created this design is Alex Rivera, the Bronxer, at the Bronxer, and
we'll leave it down below.
We'll leave it down below.
Check it out.
Yeah. So you can definitely get some more information on the Bronx Brewery if you look, you know, in the links down below. We'll provide the link. This is not a sponsored video, but we just wanted to provide you some more information on this just to support the Jingle Jangle and the limited edition artwork that is provided on this can.
All right. That's it.
So this is the end of our video. Thank you for watching. Remember that there is 2 more parts to this video, so stay tuned and we'll see you soon.
The next one.
Bye.
Bye.